Etty, will you come in a few minutes to sing L'Chadedi with me? Hello, everybody. Hi, Felice. How are you?
Hi, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos indeed. How's it going?
Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Okay.
Good
Geez.
Shabbos,
Oh, Stephanie, you're looking good over there. What is that? A martini?
My martini glass has grown. Yep.
So no wine this week?
Mine's even bigger than that.
Hello, Dean. How you doing?
How are you?
Thank you for your lovely message today. Hi, Alyssa.
You're so welcome.
And Malka. Malka is a friend of
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Oh, friend of Alyssa. Great. Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Malka. No worries. And Felice. And we got Andy Siegelstein. And Robin from Atlanta. Nice to see everyone.
What?
Shalom. There he is. Hey, Andy. How's it going? Andy, we're getting to know your whole house slowly, slowly. Every time we get a little angle. Another view.
Would you like me to walk you through? I can actually take the laptop and see it all while we wait for everybody.
Yeah, it's
You want to see some nice challahs almost ready?
Yes, show us.
Chana made some serious challah. Chana's making, I don't know what it is, some oats, spelt wheat challah, something. No wheat, spelt. I don't know what she did. It looks delicious.
All right.
And yeast.
What was that?
Hi, Alyssa. How are you?
So,
Hi, Felice. Hi, good job.
This is the salmon, and the challah is right in here.
There you go. Beautiful. Looks nice. Yum.
We're getting there.
Tell me, what were they?
Andy, are you able to find yeast, because the store
And this is my baker.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't want to be on.
Zevi's got a message. What's the message, Zev?
I said
make 3 challahs.
3 kinds of challahs. So one of them is as oats on them. Well, I think it's an oat challah. Another one is a spelt challah. And the third one looks like pretzel challah, but it's something else. I'm not sure. It looks very interesting.
Yum.
Very interesting situations. We kind of also made gravlax this Shabbos. We're very excited about the gravlax. What's it called? Okay.
It's like
So, friends, I'd like to start off.
pretzel something.
I'd like to start off by saying l'chaim to everybody. Shabbat shalom, l'chaim.
Chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihiya b'dvarei. Amen.
Amen.
Well, you didn't hit the hard stuff yet.
Why not? You know, what am I drinking here? Glen Fittich, 12. I finished. I'm doing a lot of drinking these days. I finished a Glen. What was the other one? Glen something 12. Glen Livet, I think it was. Somebody called me up with very good news. He tested negative, and he's all good stuff. You know, Baruch Hashem, one of the members of the show. I was inspired. We had to say l'chaim. So I'd like to show you an image. I'd like to ask you what you think about it. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen with you as we start off here today. Give me a quick second. Share. And .com. Okay, now, friends, tell me what you see. Are you ready? Almost ready.
Dropping like flies. I see a pagoda.
Hold on. I know why I'm so slow, because I'm on Facebook as well. Okay, now I want you to private message me. Private message what you see. Don't announce it. Just private message me on the chat. Hey, Doron, how's it going? So don't say what you see.
It's like a trick.
Just give me a private message.
Trick.
Give me a private message as to what you see, okay? So you can write it in the chat box. Sean, come over here. Mary, come here. Tell me in your own words. What do you see standing here?
Either an old lady.
Can you see what you see?
You need to quiet yourself.
Yeah, you shouldn't say. Don't ruin it for anybody else.
Okay.
Sean, what do you see here?
If this is private.
Good question, actually. Shalom, where do I find the chat now? I got to get my IT technician.
There are 3 dots in the upper right corner that says more.
Oh, more. Okay, good. All right, good. And then what?
Click on that.
Chat. Gotcha. I'm getting my chats in. Good. Okay, fine. So Alyssa's responded to me. Okay. Alyssa, can you be more specific in your answer to me, please? And
Yes.
Felice, I got your answer. Andy answered to everybody. Okay. You're supposed to answer privately. Andy, you're supposed to answer privately. That's the point. Okay.
And how do I private chat?
You look at the list of people and only respond to the host.
Oh.
Okay, there you go. Alyssa, I got your answer. Okay, good. So it turns out. Okay, so.
Did you get my answer, Rabbi? It's Stephanie.
Stephanie, I did not get your answer. Oh, I did.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Shalom, what do you see here? Tell me privately, okay? What do you see privately? By the way, if you don't have it in front of you, that's the image. I mean, for anybody on Facebook.
I don't know. What do I see?
Whatever. I mean, it's hard to show you there. Etty, what do you see? You see that in that image? What is it?
See grandma.
Okay, now, let me say this to you, folks. Okay, so Malk has responded to me also.
No,
It turns out, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen for a second. It turns out, hi Keith. It turns out that image, you know what, I have to go back there so you'll understand what I'm saying. That image is actually the image of.
You're sharing the wrong thing.
Oh, I'm sharing. Oh, stop share. I'm sharing the wrong thing.
Share.
Share. Okay.
Click that.
Oh, that. I'm sorry. Okay.
Share.
Okay, guys. Thank you, Sean. All right. Gotta learn from my son. So in this image, you actually are able to see. Can you see the young woman?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alyssa, you can see the young woman?
Yes.
Okay, 1 second, hold on. So,
And
Dean, can you see the young woman?
Yes.
It looks like only Etty told me it's an old lady. Right, Etty?
I see both.
No,
We see both.
Can you see the old lady over here? I'm not sure what a Mennonite girl is.
Yes. I see the old lady and the young girl.
I don't see an old lady.
You don't see an old lady. Okay, fine. See, if you look closely, you see that neckline of the young woman?
Yes.
Oh, that's the mouth of the old
That's the mouth of the old lady.
Yes.
I
I see them both. Okay, I just found it.
So,
Oh yes. Yeah.
so it's either an old lady looking to your to the left, or it's a young woman facing backwards, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's such a
Yes.
beautiful example of how our brains work. You see that, Sean? You get it? Can everybody see the image? Right, you got it? Zevi, you got it?
So freaky.
Zevi says it's so freaky. He says it's so freaky. Okay. All right, Zev.
It is freaky.
All right. Why am I saying this to you? Because what happens is, hi, Susan.
I can see them both, Rabbi.
Oh, Brandon. Brandon can see them both. Very good. That's the point. That's exactly the point. The point is, sorry, Sean, that our
Good job,
brains, hi, Brandon, our brains are wired to be able to see things. We could be looking at exactly the same thing, and we get 2 totally different perspectives. And it depends on how we choose objectively to filter and decide what it is that we're looking at. You know, eye doctors have been known to say that we don't see through our eyes. You know how we see? Exactly, Stephanie. We see with our brains. We only see through our eyes. It's depending on what's going on inside of our brains that will determine how we filter the images that our eyes are looking at, right? And I want to share with you a very beautiful example of a chassid. It wasn't a Chabad chassid, from a different community. I think it was from Williamsburg. He came to visit the Rebbe for whatever reason. And in his conversation with the Rebbe, he asked the question. He said, why is it that the Talmud says at the end of Tractate Chagiga, which is the tractate about the offering that we bring on Passover in addition to the Passover offering, he says, it says in the Talmud, even the sinners of Israel are filled with good deeds as a pomegranate is filled with seeds. Right? How even the sinners of Israel, this is what the Talmud says, are filled with good deeds, just like a pomegranate is filled with seeds. Now, how many seeds are in a pomegranate, by the way? Do you know?
613.
613. Where'd you get that information?
I learned it.
Word on the street, right? So somebody once came to my father and he said, Rabbi Vigler, I counted and it didn't have 613. It had less.
Like 500.
So I had like 582. So my father said it wasn't ripe enough. No, it didn't grow enough yet, right? But legend has it that it's something around 613. But the point is, and I want to explain that to you in a moment. The point is that the Rebbe, he said to the Rebbe, why is it that if they are sinners, then why do they have so many good deeds? Why does the Talmud say that they have so many good deeds if they're sinners? I think we have a cantor here. So the Rebbe responded and he said, he actually got teary-eyed. And the Rebbe started to cry. He said, what I don't understand is if they have so many good deeds, then why does the Talmud call them sinners? And that's the question, how you can be looking at exactly the same person, and one of us will have an attitude of criticism, and another one of us will have an attitude of optimism to say, wow, you're looking at a person that really is reinventing themselves, is pushing themselves, and it's such a beautiful thing. You know, incidentally, why is it? Why is it that the sinners of Israel are actually compared to a pomegranate? I saw a very beautiful interpretation. So one answer is what Dean said, because allegedly they have 613 seeds, but I heard a very beautiful explanation, which I'd love to share with you, L'chaim, about how we're supposed to view other difficult people in our lives, and maybe even ourselves. Sometimes if we're a little difficult, maybe a way to view ourselves and our own problems is that a pomegranate is an extraordinary fruit. Whenever you eat other fruits, what do you do with the seeds, Shalom?
You throw them away.
You always throw away the seeds, right? But when it comes to a pomegranate, it's the one fruit where you eat the seeds and
you throw away the fruit. And
you throw away the rest of the fruit. In other words, when it comes to pomegranate, the seeds, they are the fruit. It's amazing. I don't know if there's any other fruit like that. Is there another fruit that has where the seeds are the fruit?
No.
Shalom is my marine biologist. He's my zoologist and my botanist as well. Also IT technician. He's very proud of that new appointment. He gave me a very big training on Zoom the other day. Apparently he's been learning that in school when he was supposed to be on Zoom. He's been learning Zoom. So what's amazing about the pomegranate is like this. I think she wants to give another answer. The thing about the pomegranate is that the seeds of the pomegranate are the fruit itself, and that's the meaning of the sinners of Israel being compared to a pomegranate. Their positive deeds, their good deeds aren't incidental, aren't tangential, aren't extra to them. Their good deeds is who they really are. That's their truest and deepest essence. That's their identity, is their good deeds. And that's the reason why the Talmud compares the sinners of Israel to the seeds of a pomegranate, because just like the seeds is the essence of the fruit, so too the mitzvahs, the good deeds of the sinners, that's actually their true identity. So that's actually their true identity. And I want to say l'chaim to that point of being able to look at each other, to look at the difficult people in our lives, and to try to find the good inside of the bad. There was a famous rabbi. Please don't sit on the table, Mary. Mary, please get off the table. This is the funnest part of quarantine, is having the kids climbing the walls and try to maintain our sanity. Mary, please can you get off the table? Thanks. Okay. So what happened is that Rabbi Meir was a great rabbi of the Talmud, and he had a teacher who became a heretic. Hi, Mark. How are you? Nice to see you, Mark. Hello.
Thanks for you.
How's it going? So Rabbi Meir of the Talmud, he had a teacher who became a heretic. Right? His name was Elisha ben Avuya. For whatever reason, it's a very long story as to why he became a heretic. But he did. And all the rabbis banned this. Frele, what's wrong? Do you want to say hello to everybody? Do you want to sing a song, Abba Shali?
Hi.
You want to say Abba Shali? She wants to sing Mami Shali. Sing Ima Shali. We're doing a musical interlude here. So Dvara made up the song herself. It's Ima Sheli, which means my mother, right? She sings this at the door at 6 o'clock in the morning from outside the door. She sings Ima Sheli, my mother. Ima Sheli, my mother. You know, how do you resist that, even if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And it just goes on and on and on. It doesn't have any. It's one note. What? Right. So here's what happens. I was saying, so Rabbi Meir had this teach. Okay, Dvara, can I have a turn? Can I have a quick turn over here? We're gonna do L'Chadodin in a few minutes. Okay. So Rabbi Meir had he did not want to excommunicate or terminate the relationship with his teacher. He would study with him while his teacher was violating the Shabbos. Can you imagine? His Rebbe was violating the Shabbos, walking on his riding his donkey, and he was learning with him while walking alongside his donkey. The other sages, the peers of Rabbi Meir, they said, Rabbi Meir, please stop that, Meir. Meir, please. Meir. So the joys of quarantine. Meir, please, thank you. So the other colleagues of Rabbi Meir, they said, how can you do this? How can you learn from such a heretic? And he said, how can you resist, right? We're on to Baby Shark now, by the way. So anyway, so Rabbi Meir said it's like a banana. When you eat a banana,
with children or animals, Rabbi.
What was that, Brandon? What was that, Brandon? I hear.
They say never work with children or animals.
Okay, no, we love our kids. We love them. But anyways, the point that I'm trying to say in my story is that it's like eating a banana. When you have a banana, what do? Do you eat the whole thing, Zevi? Do you eat a whole banana when you want to eat it? No. What do? You just swallow the whole thing? You take out the bad parts, which is the peel, and you eat the banana. Same thing with an orange or a watermelon, right? You don't throw it out. You say you don't throw out the watermelon because you bought it and it's got a hard shell. No, you cut it and you take out the inside and now you're good to go. That's how life works. It comes packaged. There is no such thing as 100% perfection. And like there's no 100% evil. We've always got to be able to choose to see the good within the bad or the bad within the good. And let's hope that we're able to have the positivity bias to be able to see the good in each other. Remember, everything that happens is for a reason. Everything is a messenger from Hashem. Everything is bashert. And it's up to us to choose to decide to see the positive instead of the negative. I just want to illustrate that point with a quick story. How are we doing over here, Dvarle? Are we okay?
Yeah.
No, almost done here, Dvarle. So a quick story I want to illustrate that is where one of the Rebbe's photographers, a guy's name is his name was Levi Yitzchak Freiden. Levi Freiden is his name. So he was a photographer of the Rebbe, and he, for whatever reason, he made a display in Tel Aviv, in Beit Sokolov, of the photographs that he took of 770 of the Rebbe. So one of the irreverent Israeli critics over there praised him for his works, but then he said, with all due respect to the superb photography skill, the subject you've chosen is extremely clerical and takes us back to the primitive darkness of the Middle Ages. And he wrote that in the guest book. A little while later, Zevi, you want to go outside because you're making noise. A little while later, when Levi Freiden came back to the Rebbe, he showed the Rebbe the book. And the Rebbe right away noticed that this negative comment about the subject being extremely clerical and taking us back to the primitive darkness of the Dark Ages. So how would the Rebbe take this? I want you to think for a moment how you would take such a criticism, such an overt, shameless, negative energy. Here's how the Rebbe took it. He said, please compliment the journalist on his strength of character. It takes fortitude to differ from all the other responses, right? So first of all, the Rebbe complimented him. And then he said, but tell him also that not everything in the Middle Ages was dark, right? Not everything in the Middle Ages was dark. There was good things about the Middle Ages as well. It's okay. There's positive sides to the Middle Ages. In other words, us having roots and having heritage and having culture and having a history, that's actually something positive. Not everything that is hundreds of years old is bad. It's actually a good thing. It's so interesting how the Rebbe was able to take a negative comment and actually to turn it into a compliment and turn it into a teachable moment to be able to see the positive, the light within the dark ages, right? But the question is, our positive attitude, what difference does it make? Does it really make a difference? When we have a positive attitude right now, we're going through a hard time, right? We're going through struggles. We're going through challenges. We're having a hard time. We're all stressed out. I hear Palm Beach County is opening today. Something like that, right? I'm a little bit... is it Monday? It's opening on Monday. Okay, fine. I'm not exactly following the news. I'm trying to enjoy every day. Keith, that looks like a good glass of wine you got there. L'chaim.
And Stephanie, your martini glass.
Yeah, Stephanie's she's really rocking the look over there with the martini. But the thing with it is, I want to take it one final step further. Just one final step is that our positive attitude actually makes a real difference in the world around us. It actually makes a real difference in the world around us. Here it is. There was a kid who was having discipline issues. He was 10 years old. His name was Shelly Bayer at the Yeshiva Torah Chaim on Belmont Avenue in Brooklyn. He was having problems. I don't think he had a father. His mother took him to visit the Rebbe for a private audience together with his siblings.
Such a heretic.
What was that?
And he's dead.
1 second, I'm gonna do the mute function here. Shalom, where's the mute function?
The baby shark now, by the way. So, anyway,
oh, where do I do that, Shalom? Right here. Sorry, hold on, guys. All right, fine. Back to you. Gotcha. Anyways, so bottom line is, this kid was very badly behaved. So he comes into a private audience with the Rebbe. I never had a private audience with the Rebbe, by the way. Orla is rearranging my office. Mommy did. That's right, Sebi. Mommy did have a private audience with the Rebbe. That's right. Okay. When she was a little kid, we have a picture of that in our house. So, what? So this kid comes into a private audience. His name is Shelly Bauer. And the mother says in front of the boy to the Rebbe, she says, my son's being thrown out of the yeshivas. The teacher says he's not listening. The rabbis are complaining that he doesn't like school. He doesn't like the homework. He doesn't like the program. He's always eating things in class. He's a terrible kid. We don't know what to do. And this is what she says to the Rebbe in front of her son. By the way, all those things that the teachers were saying about our kids while they were in school, now we know they're actually telling the truth. So they weren't making that stuff up. So what happened was, how would the kid react? The kid decided to be fresh to the Rebbe. The Rebbe turns to the kid and he smiles and he says, come here. And the kid is being fresh, 10 years old, to the Rebbe, and he says, so, you're the Rebbe? The Rebbe smiles and he says, are you a good boy? And he says, no. Do you like school? No. Do you listen to your mother? No. Problem case over here, right? With a big smile, the Rebbe turns to the mother and he says, no. At least he speaks emes. At least he's telling the truth, right? At least one thing we can tell about him is that a liar he's not. And he concluded, this guy, this Shelly, who later became Sholem, he concluded that point was the turning point of his life, where he transformed. He saw that somebody actually saw something positive in him. When we're able to see the positive in someone else, we're actually able to bring out, we're actually able to bring out the positive energy within themselves as well. It's not just a matter of perception. It's about how they choose to see themselves as well, which makes all the difference. And that's why it's so important to have this positive attitude as we're still struggling through these difficult times. By the way, Racheli here has got straight hair today. I'm not sure how this works, but normally Racheli has got curly hair. Today it is straight hair. I don't know what happened, but she's always beautiful. Don't know what she did, but she did something. Musi and her were busy for a while, and they did something interesting over there. Right? We love her. She asked me which way I like her better. I said, I love you exactly the way you are, right? And I always will. What's that? What do you say?
I have something about the pomegranate.
Oh, and just you come up and tell us about the pomegranate. Zevi's got an interesting thing to tell us. But just before Zevi, I just want to say, L'chaim, may we always have an ayin toiva. Ayin toiva means a good eye. I'm sure you've heard of ayin hara, a canine hara, like an evil eye. We all know about the evil eye. We talk about the evil eye. We're intimately familiar with the evil eye. Malokyo, we call it. But ayin toiva, the good eye. Let's stop talking about the evil eye. Who needs the evil eye? You know what an evil eye is? An evil eye is when you look with one eye. When you look with one eye, you see one-dimensional vision. With one eye, they cannot parallel park. Did you know this? With one eye, you have a hard time with hand-to-eye contact. Hand-to-eye playing baseball or hitting a cricket ball, hitting a cricket bat, Brandon, baseball bat. If you only have one eye, you can't judge depth. But with two eyes, your eyes converge on a point. You can judge depth. When you have a good eye, that's when you see the depth behind everything. You don't see a superficial vision. You see a deeper vision. You see more than meets the eye. You understand what's going on. You know that God's got a plan, and you see the positive twist on everything. And that's why I want to encourage everybody this Shabbos to enter this Shabbos with an ayin tova, a positive eye. It's easy to criticize other people, and people are going to say there's going to be the pro-maskers and the anti-maskers. There's going to be the pro-glove people, the anti-glove people, the open up already, the shut down the economy people. Let's abandon the elections. Let's vote tomorrow. There's going to be many, many, many different groups of people. But as we come out of this election, remember, every single person that you meet is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Every person that you meet. If that's in a normal case, how much more so that's true right now when we're all suffering. There's financial troubles that people are having. There's people that are struggling to like the people that they're living with. They're in cramped quarters. It's a little challenging for a lot of people. I'm doing so much counseling. I have no time. It's amazing. But thank God it's being used for good use. And everybody's right now. If in a normal case people are fighting, now for sure people are struggling. Let's have an ayin tova. Let's develop a good eye and choose to see the positive in ourselves and the positive in our environment and in our circumstance. And with that perception, like Tanya tells us, by seeing the depth within everything, you'll bring out the good within that l'chaim. Zevi's got to share something with us. Go ahead, Zev.
Exactly like the pomegranates have 613 seeds. That's exactly like the 613 mitzvahs.
Oh, very nice, Zev. That is very, very nice. So nice. Very confident. I love that. No stage fright. The kid is on his game. Beautiful.
So I'm a mayor of the town, but
Hold on. I gotta mute it again.
His name was Elisha Ben
I'm competing against myself here on someone else's computer. Okay. So I wanted to say one more thought about the special Yontiv which is today. Do you know what Yontiv is today, Zev? Come stand up and tell us. Can you tell us what Yontiv is today? Shalom, come here. Come tell us what Yontiv is today. What's today's Yontiv?
Shabbos?
No, that's tonight. It's Shabbos. Come here. What's the Hebrew date? What are we eating today for lunch?
Oh, Pesach Sheni.
Come here. Come tell us about Pesach Sheni. What's Pesach Sheni? Today's the second day of the second Pesach. What is the second Pesach, Shalom? Tell us.
It's basically when the Jews were still in the desert. There was this whole story about in last week's Torah portion about how Aaron, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, his two sons died because they wanted to be very close with God and they got too close, so they died.
Yeah.
So the people that were taking care of them became impure from.
They were burying them, right?
Yeah, they
were impure. Okay.
So they became impure from the from the dead bodies.
Because that's the law. When you touch a dead body, you become impure, right?
Yeah. So then there was God told them that as last year when they were still in Egypt, they gave a sacrifice. They had to do it again this year, and you can't give a sacrifice if you're impure. In
a state of impurity, you have to go to the mikvah. You got to wait 7 days, right?
So they went to Moses and they complained and they said, we want to do the commandments, but we're not able to because we're impure, because we were doing a different command.
They said, Lama Nigara, why should we be excluded? We also want to be part of the mitzvah. It wasn't really by our own fault. We were burying the sons of Aaron. We were tending to their burial. It was not our fault. We also want to be part of this extraordinary mitzvah, the Paschal sacrifice, but we couldn't. We were impure. That chance. What are we going to do?
So he said, this is one of the very few times in the Torah that it says that Moses says, wait, I got to talk to God. that means he had he
Gotta
was
check with the boss, right?
he was able to talk to God whenever he wanted. It wasn't just
That's pretty cool.
God talking to him. So he went and God told him to make, in a month's time, there should be another time, a second chance.
It's kind of like the IRS date. You can file taxes April 15th, but if you miss April 15th, I think you got another date, like August or something, right? It's like a catch-all. It's like you missed it, right? Okay, go ahead.
So you can give it again on that day.
And that's today's date. So today is a very interesting yontif. It's called the second Pesach. The second Pesach is for people that missed the boat. The second Pesach is about people that didn't go to Hebrew school, or the people that don't know how to read Hebrew, or the people that say, Rabbi, why didn't I know this information, this beautiful parsha, this beautiful lesson 20 years ago? I wish I knew it 30 years ago. It would have saved my first marriage. It would have saved my relationship with my mother, with my brother. I would have had such a different life. Why did it take me so long to get this information? Hi, Corey, welcome. And to those people is today's yontif. Today's yontif is all about the message that it's never, ever, ever too late to make amends. How do I see the comments? Can you show me the comments? Where are they? It's never, ever, ever too late to make amends. Which means even if you missed the boat the first time, you can still make amends. You can fix it. And I say to these people, no, so you didn't go to Hebrew school, so start today. So today you can start to learn Hebrew. So today you can start to be a more mindful Jew and more meaningful in your relationship with Hashem. Don't worry about the past. Masha haya, what was. Today's a new day. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. And we all have regrets, friends. All of us have regrets. We all have our should-haves and our could-haves and our would-haves and I wish I would have and I wish I... In general in life, I always tell people, we tend to regret more in life the things that we didn't do more than the things that we did do, right? I always tell people, take the bull by the horns. Take the leap. Just do it, right? Don't think so hard. Take the leap, make the move, right? But we all are filled with regrets. Instead of stressing the negative, instead of thinking about all the things that we missed out, the missed opportunities, Pesach Sheni tells us that Hashem believes in us. Hashem is our loving Father. Hashem is waiting in the wings. When is my son, my daughter, going to come and come home to me? And like a child that comes home to a father, the father would always say, it was an awful scene in an Orthodox movie. Chana and I are trying to watch it so we can do a Q&A about it. There was that awful scene up to the second installment of where the kid calls the grandmother, over there in New York, and she cries and she's just broken. She's at the bottom of the barrel, and the bubby hangs up on her. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, seriously? Do they really think that these people are like that? That they would? I mean, really, the daughter, she ran away. The granddaughter. Do you really think that that's the end of the family ties? It's so absurd to think. Oh, we have a show and tell over here. Oh, what's that, Verla? What is that? Is that the part of the week? Is that Imashi? Airplane. It's an airplane. You see the airplane? Very nice. So anyway, so the message is, there's nothing you can do to sever the bond with Hashem. And that's what this Yantiv is about. It's never too late. It doesn't matter what you've done. What's done is done. It's history. It's behind you. All that matters is today. Yesterday is only a dream. And tomorrow is just a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Today is a gift, and that's why it's called the present. That is, my friends, the power of now. It's the power of saying all that matters is this moment. When you learn Tanya, and you realize that the world is recreated over and over and over and over again at every single instant. You realize that every single moment is a unique miracle in time. It's nothing to do It's nothing to do with what happened 2 minutes ago, and nothing to do with 2 minutes from now. Just like time is like a matrix of independent and unique rays of light. It's not a procession which depends on the previous link in the chain. It's not a chain. That's not time. Time is a matrix of independent and unique spots of light. All that matters is this moment. You know, my grandfather was a survivor of Auschwitz. I'm sure I mentioned to you that we saw his first wife and 2 daughters executed in front of his eyes in Auschwitz. Our Torah, the Red Torah, is dedicated to his wife and 2 daughters who never were remembered. But he married my grandmother after the war. They were both from Siget in Transylvania, where Andy's from the same neighborhood. And my grandfather came to live with us at the end of his life in South Africa, in Johannesburg. And in his book, he was already, after his stroke, in his book, we found a Zohar. He had this beautiful quote. It said in Hebrew, it rhymes beautifully in Hebrew. I'll say it to you first in Hebrew. Ha'avar ayin ve'atid adayin ve'ahoveh keheref ayin da'aga minayin. It rhymes. And I'll translate. Ha'avar ayin means the past was. It's gone. Ve'atid adayin, and the future is yet to be. It hasn't happened yet. Ve'hahoveh, and the present moment, keheref ayin, it goes in the blink of an eye. Da'aga minayin, therefore there's nothing to worry about. A man who saw the loss of his town, the loss of his wife and his children, the loss of his family, the loss of everything, to see hell in front of his eyes for the last 9 or 10 months of the war that he was in Auschwitz, to be able to find his strength, to find his faith by recognizing this moment, gave me such inspiration to be able to live in the moment, to live in the here and now, not to be encumbered by the guilt of the past. That's not for us. It's not for us to struggle with. Don't stress out. It's the evil inclination that's trying to make you feel guilty over the past. We learned that in Tanya this week. Or was it last week? I don't remember anymore. So many Torah classes. But guilt is a ploy of your Yetzer Hara, of your evil inclination. It is our mission to be joyous, to be light, to lift that yoke off of your shoulders. And that's what I want to encourage you to do this Farbrengen, this Erev Shabbos, right now. Try to lift your load and say, what was, what will be, hasn't happened yet. There's only this moment. And right now, everything is fine. I'm here. I'm good. I'm joyous and I'm thankful for this moment. L'chaim to you. L'chaim to this moment. L'chaim to this beautiful Shabbos for which we're about to enter. L'chaim for our undying commitment that comes from Hashem and our unbreakable bond from Hashem. Our Father in heaven who believes in us, our Mother in heaven, whatever you want to call God. Our unbreakable bond with God that believes in us over and over and over and over again. Even if we fall 1,000,000 times, we can always fix our mistakes. We can always make up for it. Even if our mistake was deliberate, by the way, in the Torah, even if you missed the first Pesach deliberately, not just by mistake, not just by chance, because they were busy with the mitzvah, even if you deliberately missed the first Pesach, you can still make up for lost opportunities. And that is what the meaning of Pesach Sheni is all about. Never give up. It's never too late. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. L'chaim, friends.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Don't go away. We're going to sing a Shabbat song. Kindalach, come on over. Etty. Who's that? Etty? Etty? Etty, come on over. Etty. Bring the kids. We're going to do the Chadodi, okay? Shalem. Shalem. And Rivka, come on over. No, we're going to do the Chadodi. Come. No, it's quickly. Just a quick song. Quick. Come here. Okay. Zevi and Meir. Come over here. Zevi, waiting for you. Come on over. We're going to sing Shalom Aleichem. Come on over. Oh, you want tzedakah? Don't forget, folks, as we light the Shabbos candles, you're supposed to give tzedakah. I go to the bank and get my pennies here. So give it out. Here, come on over, Meir. Come here. Let's go, Meir. Ready? Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yashareis, Malachei Elyon. This actually. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yashareis, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Yasharet Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, now we're gonna sing Lecha Dodi. Ready? Because it's almost candlelighting time. Ready? Lecha Dodi. Sabi, come on. Lecha Dodi. Penei Shabbos nekabela. The Vigler Boys Choir. Lecha Dodi likras kala. Penei Shabbos nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad. Hishmiyanu kela meyuchad. Hashem echad. U'shmo echad. L'shem u'l'tiferet v'l'sila. Together. Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likras kala. Just nekabela. Lecha Dodi likras kala. Penei Shabbos nekabela. We even have a conductor. See, Stephanie's doing the conducting. You know, she's very professional. She's a professional performer, right? So, friends, I want to say l'chaim. I think I ran out of my l'chaim over there. I filled my quota of the Rebbe says until you turn 40, you're only allowed to have 4 l'chaims. I just realized I'm turning 40 this summer. Oops. So I might be allowed. I guess I'm going to be allowed to have my 4, more than my 4. Not that I need it, obviously. We don't drink alcohol for the sake of alcohol. But I want to say l'chaim to everybody. May we all experience the freedom and the liberation of this beautiful concept of the second Pesach Sheni, of the second Pesach in a moment. The second Pesach, it's never, ever too late. Hashem always believes in us. Hashem loves us unconditionally. And the question is, He believes in us. The question is, do we believe in ourselves? That's the big question. Let's meditate for a moment. Say yes. Yes, we can. Say yes, we can. Yes, we can. No, it's the second Pesach.
We believe in Hashem.
Oh, we believe. He's right. We believe in Hashem. We don't believe in ourselves. See, from the mouth of babes. So with that, friends.
Not babes.
Not babes. Then what are we?
I'm not a baby.
Then what are you? Big baby.
I'm a boy. I'm not a baby.
Any comments from anybody? Any comments from anybody here before we go light the Shabbos candles? Anybody? How do I unmute everybody? Oh, here. Okay. Any comments from anybody?
I think you got another date, like August or something, right?
Yeah, I'm competing against myself. He's got the video one. He's on back play. So.
You can do it again on that day.
And that's today's date.
Okay, sorry, folks. I don't know how to mute the person that is on. So, what was that? How do we mute everybody, Sean? How do we mute everybody? Where? Where? Anyways, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. How do you do that, Sean? I'd like to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Sorry, competing with myself. Okay, I'd like to say Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please go ahead and light the Shabbos candles. Make those blessings. As you cover your eyes, pray to God to give you the strength to believe in yourself, to give your loved ones, everyone who's near and dear to you, the strength and the courage to believe in themselves, to fulfill all of their deepest potential and the power for which we were, the light for which we were put into this earth, to let all of that light shine through us. Let's not allow our self-imposed prisons to encumber and darken our light. Let's unleash the light. Let go and let God. L'chaim, everybody. Good Shabbat. There's always hope to give up. L'chaim, l'chaim. Thank you so much, everybody. L'chaim, l'chaim. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Mark. Felice. Bye, Shan. Bye, Ashley. Say bye, Ashley. Say bye, Ashley.
Bye, Ashley.
Say good Shabbos, Bob.
Good Shabbos,
Bob
Ashley.
Wertheimer and Keith Klank and Opa. Are you okay? Opa. Keith and who's that with you, Keith? I can't hear you. 1 second. Hold on.
Susan.
Susan, hey Susan, we have still got to meet in person. I'm looking forward. Are you guys like on the beach or something? You facing the water?
Yeah, we live on the beach.
You live on the beach. Is that Juno?
Juno Beach. Yeah.
Fantastic. Looking forward. So Dean is nearby you. She lives nearby in that area. Anyway, Susan, good to see you. You're also facing the water. What was that? What was that, Keith?
Is that she dropped matzah off?
Oh, she dropped the matzah off. That's more than likely she dropped the matzah off for you, for sure. That's right. That's right. We're all connected. One big mishpacha. Mark, good Shabbos and safe travels to you next week. Alyssa, God bless you all. Safe travels. Bye, Malka. Bye, Stephanie. Regards to your husbands and to your wives and to your children. We love you all, guys. Good Shabbos. L'chaim.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos, Ashley.
Okay, have a second, Shalom. Let's turn off YouTube as well. I think we're on YouTube still. Let's see what's going on Facebook. We're on Facebook. Sandy Boynton, thank you for joining us. Racheli loves Diane loves Racheli's hair. That's nice. And all these wonderful friends on Facebook. Wonderful. I'm going to end the live video. And I'm going to move over to YouTube. On YouTube, looks like we had a slow connection here. But thank you, Ron and Elaine. Thank you, Keith and Elaine. Good Shabbos, everybody. Thank you. Over and out.